So listen, now she's like, now we end up after the movies, we kiss each other, and me, I'm like, oh, I finally found her. I finally found like listen, she's almost virgin. She has she's almost a virgin, the African way. So you're like, she's almost a virgin. She didn't do nothing for a whole year, and she's been with only one guy, and she all believe that the old bastard. So I'm gonna be perfect, and yeah, then like she's gonna be a great girl. So we start, now da 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 da. She come home. Sex is amazing as well. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'm done. I'm perfect. I'm starting relationship, etc. And then I go to Portugal for a show. I'm in Portugal. We are talking on MSN. And while we are talking, all of a sudden, she just disappears. And I'm here. I'm in the hotel. I'm about to do a show, and I'm waiting. And I'm like, yo, so hey, and then nothing. So after I go do my show, I don't have a choice. I'm a little worried, but I'm like, oh, maybe our internet connection just go to the show, perform, stop performing, go back to the hotel, go back on MSN. She's still online. So I go, I'm like, hey, you still here? No answer. A whole weekend like this. Then we are on our way. I've talked to my manager. So my manager she's a woman as well. So I have a lot of sisters that I can ask when so she's like, listen, this happened and I don't understand. Like, and she's like, oh, don't worry. Probably, I don't know, maybe she doesn't have internet, whatever. You'll see when you get there. When I land in Paris, I receive a text. Oh, I'm her friend. She's at the hospital. Well, what happened? Oh, well, she will call. She's fine. Don't worry. She'll call you. Now you are starting to be destabilized. So she finally calls me, tells me that, I didn't think I would have to tell you that early. So I'm like, oh, yeah, what's going on? Like, don't worry, you can tell me anything. Yeah, I have a rare, incurable disease. Now I'm like, ugh. And now you have like you put the cape, Superman, like I don't care what. So explain to me, what do you have that? Oh, this that makes me. Sometimes I just don't have enough iron in my blood, something like that. Like, and she makes anemias all the time because of that. So now I'm like, oh my god, it's like, but hey, like you kind of. O que que passa, minha princesa? O que foi? Ah, o que foi? O que foi?
Ça va finir vite.
So now I'm like, já tá? Me too. I got my little psycho at home. So as I was saying, now I instead of running away, what I would do today, I kind of love her even more, because now I realize that this relationship could end she could just die tomorrow. So now everything has to go fast. And now I'm like, are you like, but you should stop working. Like, I'll pay your rent. Like, come live with it. C'est un vertige à l'amour. Machine à l'amour. Ça, c'est une machine à l'amour. Machine à l'amour. Now I'm just going deep. So in the next few months, she disappears sometimes. And every time she's like, oh, sorry, I was at the hospital. And I'm like, oh my God, you should stop working. And you start loving her so much. And then all of a sudden, she just disappears I was going to the US. And as soon as I arrived in Houston, she just disappeared. and no way of talking to her for a whole week. And she just disappeared.
This is getting
And
too much.
yeah, and now I'm completely in despair.
Disarray. Mm.
I'm like, and I'm asking the only place that she had online was the only thing she had online. Ok, meu amor, senta. Traz o comando, papi vai fazer. And now the only thing that I have of her is her. Sorry, I got to put Disney. This one doesn't want to sleep. There's school tomorrow. It is how it is. So now, baixa o som do teu iPad, meu amor. So now,
Natalie, are you good with time? Are you need to go?
I can still do like another like 15 minutes. I'm good.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
done. It's 5 more minutes to finish.
I
My
need to know
stories
what
are
the
long.
hell
But
this chick was doing. She's a liar. I can feel it.
so she disappeared, and I go. Okay, mama. Now, the only place where I can see about her is her Skyblog. She had the Skyblog.
Oh,
So I go to her Skyblog.
Wow.
You see, that was a Skyblog girl. I go to her Skyblog. Every post disappear, and there's just a picture like her, of her like this, and a lot of comment that I said, "Oh my God, it's so sad." And me, I'm like, "Oh no. So I sent a message, because if somebody is changing the Skyblog, I'm sending a message, and I'm like, "Hey, I'm her boyfriend. What happened to her?" Like, and no answer. But now I'm stressed. I go do my show. I'm not even there when I'm performing. Like, I'm doing all the pictures, all the girls like, "Oh, you're so beautiful, I love you." I'm not even there. I'm just in autopilot. The next day we arrive in Dallas, and I receive a message. Yeah, I'm so sorry, but I'm her best friend, and yeah, she's in the coma, and they don't think she's gonna make it. Listen, I go to my manager's. I go knock at my manager's door. And I arrive, and I just show her the laptop and then she's like, "Oh, mon chéri, don't worry, he's gonna be fine." And then I'm like, "Yeah, probably." So I knock again, and she's like, "Oui, I love her so much. Why?" And the girl disappeared, and now from the US, I'm sending gangsters, policemen, everybody that I know, trying to find her, because I want to know what hospital she is, what can I do, and I'm just there looking, and then nothing. Now we're on our way back to Paris, and my manager comes to me, and she's like, "Yo, Shushu, I just need to tell you that, just be ready for, go to her city, go to the register where you see everybody that died, because maybe she's just gone already, and just be ready." Then I arrive to Paris. I call my best friend, and Elisio, and I explain to him the situation. I tell him that as soon as I arrive, I'm in the airport. As soon as I arrive, we need to go to that city, find the register, see if she's dead. And he's like, "Oh shit, oh my God, da, da, da." So what he does, he calls you remember the tag team in the movies that we did? And he calls the cousin, and he say, "Hey, I'm so sorry for your cousin about the coma." And she's like, "Oh my God, she's in the coma." So she calls the mom. And says, "Oh, Tantine, I'm so sorry for that. Oh, da, da." And the mom says, "Sorry for what?" She just run away with her ex, and they probably fucking somewhere.
Hey! Morale de l'histoire. Ne sois pas con.
So he calls me, and he's like, "Yo, we have her number."
I hope
So
you
listen,
gangsters with
I
you.
could not even call, so I let my manager call. So they talk between women. My manager said they call, etc. And she said that she invents some shit about, yeah, you know, because he's famous, people hack me and da 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 da. I don't want to be with him anymore because I don't want to be with somebody who's famous. He brought me only problems and blah 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 blah. Blah. Okay, so and then we finally talk, and I'm like, do you realize everything that I've been through? And she has like all the excuses in the world. And I just realized that everything was a lie, and probably even the sickness, and even probably everything. Probably she was like, "Oh, he's a singer. He's famous. He's gonna try to play me. So I'm gonna play him first." And so at a point, it takes so much time to finally see each other that after a point, I just start putting every beat together, and I just start realize that everything was a whole lie, and I just jumped into it like. And so one day, I remember that she told me on one day she comes on MSN, she just really this girl. Va pedir mami va fazer. And vou fazer. Dá-me 5 minutos. Oh my God. 5 minutes, okay? Oh my God. And one day she decided to come clean on MSN. She explained to me everything, all the lie, oh, you know why you. And listen, I'm a Buddhist. I'm not a religious person, but I believe. And I remember in Houston telling my manager I want to go to a church. I wanna have a candle. I want to pray for the candle. Like I went up there, you know. I go when I need. I'm like, hey, listen, I know I don't ask you for a lot of things, but save her. And
oh my God, I can imagine God was like,
God's like, nigga.
So I'm gonna save this bitch.
God is like, you, nigga. God is like, he's watching on the other side. He's seeing the girl getting sodomized, and he's like, so now I remember that after a point she comes clean on MSN. She explained to me the whole thing was a lie, and she was like, you're such a great person. See, meu amor, vamos fazer. You're such a great person. You're such a great person. You're such a great person. That I could not live with this. Like I want us to be friends. And like, can I come to your house? I miss you so much. So I was like, yes, come to my house. Came to my house. Listen, came to my house. You understand English?
Yes.
Oh my God. So she came to my house. She arrived, made her some tea. Listen, I went, put some perfume, put some talc on my dick.
You were about to do revenge.
Listen, I had the best revenge sex ever. I was like, you know, I had j'ai fait la toupie. And then, as soon as I was done, I opened the door, and she was like, "What's going on?" I said, "Hey, get out." And she's like, "Why are you treating me like this?" I said, "I'm treating you like the bitch you are." And then she just left my house crying. I could hear her on the street, like, why are you treating me like this? And listen, until this is 2008, 2009. I think until 2014, 15, she kept sending me messages like, I really want to be your friend. Like, and can we be friends? And like, and I was like,
girl, no, fuck off.
Sis, please
get a life.
And that's how I learned to, when I see somebody who's problematic, I'm like, oh, so sad. Good luck.
That looks like a you problem.
Yeah. So you see that this is the interesting part about the conversation we just had, where it's like people gotta really, really be aware of what they're attracting. You gotta set your energy right, man. You gotta make sure, and that's something that I'm really glad you did for yourself, which was working on your energetical alignment. Mm-hmm. But also, even Kay, what you did, it's like it's these journeys and these different steps that you go through in life, where it's like,
yeah,
what the hell do I keep on attracting the same things over and over? So you got to remove that savior complex of yours, that like Superman, that, you know what I mean?
No, but let me not lie.
No, yeah.
Even women, that was part of my issue. That's why I kept being in situations that I didn't need to be in, because I kept seeing what I believed the person was, the good in people,
Exactly.
rather than where they actually are right now. You need to let people, you can take a horse to the water, but you can't force it to drink. It's not because I see the best in you that you're willing to bring that out for me.
For those who are asking, I will make a movie from this story. Don't worry.
No, listen.
Listen.
Okay,
It's gonna be
we can all agree. C'était une sorcière. Je m'en fous.
C'était une sorcière. Listen, you can play her. You can play her when it comes out on Netflix.